Tell me about life in the Abyss. I can't tell you about all of the Abyss. I've only seen a small part. If you'd like, I can tell you about the Midnight Isles and Alushrinia. Tell me about the second one. The Porphyry City is Nakakula's capital? Jesus Christ. Abyssal names. There's no city like it in the mortal world. Absalom is a village in comparison. Millions, I don't exaggerate, millions of demons and mortals live there. Some come voluntarily, not all from Galarian, but from other planes as well. Nocticula keeps an open boundary and enjoys having many guests, merchants, and travelers in the city. Some arrive in chains. The slave trade is the most thriving business in the city. From afar, the city may seem like a merry place, but many of its dwellers do enjoy themselves until it's their turn to become someone else's toy. It's a city of suffering, of cheerful, festive torments that everyone in the city inflicts on those around them. What are some places of interest in the city? The heart of the business quarter is the flesh markets, where the slave trade takes place. I grew up in the mansion of Lady Valexia. Her house is always full of guests doing their best to entertain her. Those whose performance is not to her liking risk remaining at her house forever. The main attraction of the succubi city is, of course, the brothels, the 10,000 delights. I need not tell you what they offer. If you can imagine, someone is selling it. Not far from there, you can find the Harem of Ardent Dreams, which serves as sort of a city hall. Shamira, Nocticula's right hand and mayor of the city, receives her visitors there. For those who prefer bloodier sport, there are many arenas in the city. The most famous of them is Battle Bliss. Battles run continuously, without breaks and without rules. It doesn't matter what trickery you use to win, it only matters how much fun the crowd is having. And above all of it is the House of Silken Shadows, Nocticula's palace. Hundreds, thousands of towers and domes, adorned with jewels. There are legends of what happens inside. Many had striven to experience the delights of the Succubi Queen's palace, forgetting that it was built for her pleasure, not theirs. What can you tell me about her? She's called the Lady in Shadow. They say that she was the first succubus. She's far from the most powerful of the demon lords, but this hasn't kept her from being the ruin of many creatures significantly more powerful than herself, even building her kingdom upon their bones. They say that, like Lamastu, she strives to turn herself from a demon lord into a true goddess. She enjoys killing, but her favorite tools are seduction and deception. She only stoops to crude violence when there are no other games to play, and even then she backstabs from the shadows. Her favorite weapon is a crossbow, though a silk garrote would suit her better. If you should ever meet her, do not believe a word she says, and do not fall for her provocations. Do not try to beat her at her own game, and most importantly, remember, the worst mistake anyone can make is to underestimate her. Tell me about the Midnight Isles. In the ocean of Ishitar, or Ishiar, not far from the mouth of the River Styx, there's a chain of islands. This is the realm of Nocticula, the queen of the succubi. There is no sun there, only a moonlit night alternating with a moonless one. Each of the islands is one of Noctua's trophies, the remains of powerful entities that perished by her hands. As you can see, you cannot take a step in the abyss without treading on corpses. What do you think of the powers I gave you? It's a great temptation. I don't know if I should be trusted with such power. I certainly wouldn't trust myself with it. When you have so much power, it's easy to decide you're a god and that mortals are your toys. Perhaps I should wait until after we defeat the forces of the Abyss, but that's precisely what these powers are for. You take a great risk. I'm not sure I can handle the temptation. It's hard enough as it is. Tell me about yourself. I'm afraid you won't like what I'm going to tell you. Where did the succubi come from? Do you have a childhood? No, well, yes, but in brief, the Abyss is nothing like the mortal world. You remember the life since conception. You remember life since conception. No, wait, you don't remember that part, do you? But certainly you do remember everything since birth. We do not. Normally when a human dies, the Lady of Graves decides which plane they go to. Most often, those who arrive in the Abyss turn into larvae. You know, the little worms no one notices until you step on them? They crawl in the mud for centuries, devouring each other, and the strongest ones turn into demons. I don't know how the transformation happens. Maybe we hatch out of them like caterpillars or out of butterflies? No, wait, that's the other way around. Or maybe greater demons sculpt us out of them, like so much clay? I don't know what happens to the larvae they used to make me. And my own memory, it begins with a vague fragmentary images. Terror, executions, orgies. I remember some poor lad, half gnawed by the larva. He was crying and begging to be killed, and I pointed at him and laughed, and I said I wouldn't. Desna, forgive me, I feel so ashamed. How'd you end up turning against the Abyss? Temptation. Strange, isn't it? So many people believe that being good is important, but it's boring and unpleasant. And all that's enjoyable and tempting pertains to evil. Even the servants of the gods think so, do they not? You have no idea how easy that makes the role of temptress. Well, it was my great fortune to discover that that is not always like that. My last victim was a priestess of Desna, the tender of dreams. As you know, demons do not sleep. Mortals always compare their greatest moments to dreams, so I decided it would be interesting to see for myself. And while I was at it, forgive me, goddess, to mock Desna. The priestess lay in my arms, dying of my kiss. I remember every small detail. The cold sweat on her skin, the eyes rolled back into her head, her weak whisper, it's so difficult to recount. Well, I dove into her mind to see what mortal dreams were like, but the goddess saw me in her realm, and it turned out I remained there for longer than I had planned. What did Desna do? As a punishment, she gave me mercy. I often think, why me? She could have easily blown me away like smoke with the flick of her finger. The gods rarely trouble themselves with the lives of mortals, and even less so with demons, but for reasons of her own, she paid me special attention. She awoke in me the memories of the sinners whose souls were used to create me. All those humans, I knew nothing of them until Desna showed me. Each of them had their own dreams, and a world without pity trampled each of them in and placed them on a path that led to the abyss. Their memories, all their hopes and pain. I'm sorry it's hard for me to talk about this. The most important thing I realized was that every mortal is a little world of hopes and dreams, and that although I may be a succubus, I didn't have to live with those beastly, boring pleasures and tortures of the abyss. I can be free, I can be myself, if only I can understand who I am. You don't know who you are? What of you? Do you know who you are? Are there many mortals who can make that claim? Before returning me to the mortal realm, Desna whispered something to me. I can still hear her words. She asked me, and what do you dream of? And I don't know. I still don't. You see, demons are simple creatures. Each is guided by 2 or 3 strong sins. Before my conversion, my sins were all I was. A ball of desire without anyone hiding, a ball of desire without anyone behind them doing the desiring. Desires for sex and flattery and food. But now I have me, and it's amazing, but it's complicated. What did you do after Desna converted you? I traveled. In the beginning, I thought it was wise to keep away from demons and their temptations. Run off to Absalom, or perhaps even further, to another plane. But then I realized I didn't deserve freedom yet. The abyss was still in me. It called to me, tempting me, seducing me. If I ran away, I would soon return to my old habits. That is why I came here, to join the war, to remember who my enemy is, to defeat the demons, not just in the mortal world, but for myself as well, because if I didn't kill my past, it will always be reaching for me. I'm a wonderful liar. I'm no longer proud of it, but it's still true. The demons never suspected my treason until the very end. I lived as a spy and regularly reported back to the priests of Desna whenever I learned. Naturally, I concealed my identity from them as well. I would never have been caught, but when I learned that Dascari was planning the attack on Canabras, there was no time for caution. I risked everything to warn you, and paid with my freedom. Thank you for not running. Wait, thank you for not running from evil but confronting it. I'm glad I did, but you know it's hard. Evil calls me back every day, and when it's so close, what if one day I grow tired of fighting? So you worship Desna now? The goddess did a lot for me, more than I ever deserved. Asking anything more of her would be impudent. I'm grateful for her, but I try not to trouble her with my prayers. May I ask a personal question, the kind of question a mortal might ask a succubus? Ask me anything. I'll try not to keep secrets from you, but don't expect to hear anything lighthearted or pleasant. On one hand, my succubus nature remains with me. I feel the desire I feel is one from my old life. When I look at any mortal, I immediately imagine how but that feeling, the desire, it's not what mortals feel. When you like someone, you don't ponder how good it would be to drink their soul, do you? You think about how good it would be to feel them together. Together, you see. You know how to want someone and at the same time not want to destroy them. For me, it's always one and the same. I'm not even talking about love, just common mutual affection of mortals, when they're not poisoned with violence. Now I know I've just never felt it. It's hard to imagine how it's even possible. It's a wonderful feeling. I believe you'll be able to experience it someday. I hope so. It's just that I don't deserve it. Who would dare love a predator from the abyss who by her very nature is unable to return their feelings? I believe in you. I will. Is the kiss of a succubus actually deadly? Any caress of any kind sucks the life from mortals, and there's nothing I can do about it. For mortals, tenderness is tenderness and violence is violence. But I don't know what it's like to kiss and not inflict pain. I just hope my observations of mortals will help me understand. Young lovers, old spouses, even what mortals condemn as promiscuity, to me it all looks like something amazingly human. Wait, you mean you don't just watch people in the day out in the street? Well, I never touch anyone. I never harm anyone. I just watch and listen. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. Just don't get caught. I can promise you that. A drop of vital energy is a small price to pay. Don't joke like that. For me, it's not a joke at all. I'm not kidding. I never want to feel such pleasure again, not with anyone ever. I should like to kiss someone again, but only as a mortal, not as a demon. Everything demons do is sort of cannibalism. Each devours mortals and other demons in their own way. Some enjoy literally tearing off pieces of flesh with their teeth, others like to subdue and turn their prey into slaves and living tools. Some feed on others' humiliation. It comes in different forms, but the essence is always the same. Another being is an object to be used for your own pleasure. It doesn't differ from any other type of violence. In my former life, it was something I did to others, or others did to me. Only one person ever received pleasure, not the other. Thanks. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. That was so much. Alright, let's go actually into the Citadel, I guess. A middle-aged paladin with a genial face salutes you. Everbright Crusaders reporting for duty. My name is Kiar Coblin. I'm at your service. Queen Galfrey is gathering the main attack forces in Nerosian. She ordered us to replenish the losses suffered in Canabras and come here. We will support your troops. Morveg, we are ready to go to the front immediately. Allow us to be the spear of the attack. Morveg, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't worry, no one will be defending any demons without you. Who have you brought with you? Everbright Crusaders, mainly. But we have a lot of volunteers who joined us. Those who arrived at the Queen's call but didn't want to sit in Nerosian waiting for the main army to set off. All the hotheads that know that the front is here. We picked up this one too. He walked to Canabras with an old sword in his hand and a few copper coins in his pocket. He was going to keep walking to kill demons, and then he probably would have laid siege to Threshold, no doubt. Did you fight in Canabras? Not personally, no. The Queen summoned me and the bulk of our order to Nerosian. Almost all those who remained behind in Canabras died, and those who didn't were disorganized and leaderless, but the order did not perish. New volunteers have been pouring into our ranks. We're licking our wounds. Canabras is rebuilding. Life wins out. People are coming from all over Avestan to help. Many are joining up with the Crusaders, just as it happened back in the First Crusade. Great, you will be serving under my command. It is an honor for us, Commander. Let's give the demons a dusting. Irabeth. Hail, Commander. I found your father's sword. Praise Iomade. I don't know what to say. I'm forever indebted to you. I never thought I'd get my sword back. Please allow me to reward you, and please no objections. I can never replace this sword. I shall never part with it again. 50,000 gold. We're going shopping again. We need to talk about what happened during the attack on Dresden. Yes, I was shamefully faint-hearted. Praise Iomade, it didn't affect the course of the battle. Still, my behavior was unworthy of a knight, even less a commander. Under the circumstances, leaving my position would be tantamount to desertion. Still, as your advisor, I strongly recommend you release me from your position as the head of the Order, strip me of my knighthood, and send me to serve in the Condemned. Jesus Christ, woman. It's a diplomacy check of 15, and I have a plus 20. Alright, so I think we're going to succeed on that one. If you deserve the titles more than you, don't blame yourself. Under the circumstances, you did everything possible, and more besides. Thank you. Thank you for still trusting me more than anyone else in this crusade, even more than I trust myself. She still feels unworthy of her commander's rank. Changing her mind will require more than platitudes. Perhaps you can bolster her by appointing her to a position where she can work more closely with the rank and file, whose faith in their commander remains undimmed. How's the Eagle Watch doing in Canabras? Everything is going well. I was wary of handing over the reins at first. I was afraid that everything would fall apart without Anivia and me. But I took a risk and left a very clever lad in charge, a tiefling as it happens. He infiltrated the cult alone. They couldn't imagine a tiefling wouldn't be on their side. He exposed an entire cell. I personally knighted him just before the city was attacked. Of course, there were many who weren't happy about it. It's not my job to make people happy. He hasn't disappointed. He has built up the Order's ranks again and is running everything so smoothly. It's as if a demon attack had never happened. He's proven more than once that I left Canabras in good hands, but I admit it's still strange to think of such a small order as the Eagle Watch that now has 2 chapters, one in Dresden and one in Canabras. Look who it is! Have you figured out how the demons have been sneaking up on us? No dice. Our scouts crawled all over the area. Down every hole, nothing. The Grey Wood was completely empty, and then bam, a whole army popped up like a jack-in-the-box. My only lead is a few scouts who didn't come back from the gorges in the southwest. But we found no sign of secret paths or underground passageways, and definitely no route we can use to quietly move a large force through. But I feel in my gut there's some evil scum out there. We just have to look harder. Of course, we could send out more scouts, but they might just disappear like the first ones. Why don't you just go and find out for yourself? Did you find anything out about where Monago is now? Nope. A whole lot of nothing. The scum melted into thin air. Soldiers saw her jump out the window, run through the square in front of the citadel, and then suddenly disappear. We haven't heard anything from her since, and I don't like it. I'm telling you, it's bad. First of all, her kind don't just give up. If we can't see her, it means she's setting a trap for us somewhere that we won't expect. I mean, it would be great if the demon lords just gobbled her up for all her failures, but I think that's too much to hope for. But that's not the worst part. We have a more interesting question, you know? I wonder how she teleported from the city, if by that time you'd already hung the banner. The soldiers aren't saying it probably wasn't in full force by then, but you and I both know that's dross. She wasn't supposed to be able to teleport, but she did. How? What do you think of my new powers? I don't know if it counts as blasphemy or whatever, but you look like Desna just had her wicked way with you. You've got a bit of that divine sass about you now, and the dragon? I'm a little put off that I didn't get to see how you flew on that thing into battle, sending the demons running scared, grabbing whatever they could, and hightailing it out of there. Knight Commander, it's good you found time to meet with me. There's a matter of urgency I must discuss. It was incredibly interesting, the power you and your companions received during the fight at Grey Garrison, and now my interest has been gratified. The power your companions received has passed on to me as well. It manifested after my unusual evening reckoning. I believe I now present a true threat to the creatures and initiates of chaos. The imprisoned cultists kept for certain observation experiencing this firsthand. Striking, isn't it? Divine intervention at a critical moment is rare, but not beyond imagining. But in this case, part of the power that you received through this intervention has passed to someone who joined well after the fateful moment had passed. It seems to me like you're trying to find a pattern even in this. What if a miracle is just a miracle? Miracles do not exist. In the end, every so-called miracle turns out to be a manifestation of someone's will. Besides, I might have believed in a blind accident, but not in the accidental acquisition of great power in the exact moment when it was most needed. In any case, this is shallow philosophizing. You must have some questions for me. Do you have a plan or strategy for war against the demons? I have a clear idea of the forces I shall require to wage effective war against the Worldwound. Currently, I do not possess them, but I know what steps I must take. We must amass and fortify, gather scouting information, resolve certain problems of an organizational nature. Many people are establishing an outpost not far from the ruins of the ancient shrine. Demons appear there so often, so we'll be tracking them for information and honing our skills in combat. This is my strategy for the moment. Make crusade affairs.
I lead, you follow.
I don't know what that means. That's outside. I don't want to go outside. Personal chest, resting. Speaking of which, oh, here's this guy. Is he just a party member now? I sold all my weapons. Damn you. Belt of Giant Strength 4. Who has a strength belt? He does. Take your belt. And give it to him. And give you the +2. Dwarven War Axe 3. Crushing Cold. Wait, Crushing Cold is primary. Still a bunch of severed heads in there. That's always fun. Level 4. Get another Phantasmal Killer. Rainbow Pattern. Another Acid Pit. Your height immediately doubles and your weight increases by a factor of 8. You gain +4 to strength and constitution and take -2 to dexterity. It's Tidal Surge. Lightning Storm. Ooh. Hurricane Bow. Any arrow fired from a bow or crossbow that you are carrying when the spell is cast deals damage as if one size larger than it actually is. A medium longbow normally shoots 1d8, but it would instead do 2d6. Let's do that. Oh, we don't need aid. Protection from alignment communal, that's probably better. Break enchantment. Serenity. Sacred Nimbus. Nope. Greater command. Yes. That's kind of cool. Let's take that. Let's see. Take another bless. Okay, cool. Done all that.
Onwards!
Oh, this is where I fought. Ah. I am the dreadful dragon of destruction. I wreak chaos and devour the hearts of my foes. I am the dark knight of your futile hopes, and I am not tiny at all. I just use my magic to become smaller and more agile. Yep. Phew. My scare away the demon speech is hard. I need to keep practicing. Where do you come from again? Why'd you decide to help me? You're my bestest friend. How could I not help you? As for coming here, I just sensed your power and flew all the way to you. I mean, I can't usually fly between planes by myself, but your power was like a guiding light, so I just flew. What do you think of my companions? Oh, I thought you'd never ask. I like Arushale the best. She's so cute, and she has wings too. They make her twice as cute. Ember is kind, but I'm a little scared of her. Don't tell anyone in this. I almost got in a fight with that crow of hers. I like Land, but he is really, really sad, even when he's making jokes. Or rather, he's even more sad when he's making jokes. It's all the wrong way around. I don't understand him. Regil, boo, let's kick him out. Social always smiles at me, but he won't paint me properly. I keep telling him to add an extra tail, a fluffy one, and make my claws fluffy, and add a little golden plume that glows, but he says I just don't look like that in real life. Who cares about real life when you can imagine so much better? Sela, I kind of like her, but I kind of don't. She always treats me like I'm just some little pipsqueak. I mean, I know I'm little, but I'm still a dragon. Camellia is beautiful, but her spirit doesn't seem to want to talk to me for some reason. I guess it's just too shy. I don't even want to talk about Greybor. It feels like he's always sizing me up, wondering what kind of trophy I'll make when I'm big. I'll steal his pack one night and chew it up just because I can. Darian is mean. He doesn't think I'm even a little bit cute, I'm sure of it. How can you even speak to someone who doesn't love a cute little dragon like me? I'm a bit scared of Nenio. She always tries to catch me. She's already tried to catch me 3 times. She says she wanted to measure me with a ruler or something and attach a clothespin to my wing. It sure was annoying. Ulbrich is so fun and so nice. When he plays with me, he can toss me higher than the trees with one hand and faster than I can fly. And he laughs so loud like a thunderstorm. I like Irabeth, but only from a distance. I don't want to be too friendly with her. I mean, she's probably start making scary faces and stamping her feet if I scattered peas where the paladins go to pray. You know, to make them slip and flail their arms while trying to stand. That would be so funny. Anivia probably wouldn't yell at me, but she'd probably catch me before I even poured the peas. I'm friends with your entire court, especially Aranka, Wallflower, and Ilks, but you probably know that already. Aren't you scared of battling demons? Not even a tiny little bit. After all, I have you by my side. By the way, next time we meet any demons, we should ask them if they're scared to fight us. Okay, that dragon is adorable. I should go rest, and then I'll manage Crusader affairs real quick. See what that's about. Real quick? I don't know. Real quick? Well, I mean, I don't know what's involved in this.
Move out!
But we're gonna find out! Crusade development! Now that you've captured Dresden, new options for the Crusade have become available. You can now construct buildings in forts and Dresden issue decrees and capture and investigate new regions. Both mercenary and tradable units will appear in the commander's headquarters in Dresden. The demon armies will try to take Dresden from you, destroy them, or else after 7 days of siege, Dresden will be completely blockaded by enemy forces and you will no longer be able to command the Crusade. To access the Crusade management button at the bottom, click on the button in the bottom right corner of the screen of the global map. Developing each of the Crusade's stats opens up new options that empower your army's economy. Military focus on drilling and training units. Recruit both trainable and mercenary units to improve the rank of your military stat. Logistics focuses on economy and construction. Construct buildings to improve the ranks of your logistics. Diplomacy focuses on establishing contacts with mercenaries from foreign nations. Enhance the significance of the Crusade by earning resources of all types to improve the rank of your diplomacy. Leadership focuses on morale and army generals. Win battle and level up your generals to improve the rank of your leadership. Once the rank up requirements for one of the Crusader stats has been met, you will unlock the corresponding decree. Your military campaigns will require 3 types of resources: finance, materials, and energy. Finance is used for all of the Crusade's various needs, but first and foremost, they are needed to recruit units. Materials are primarily for building construction, and energy is used for the recruitment of mythic units and the completion of certain decrees. You gain new resource points each day. Prevailing over demon armies in battle and constructing certain buildings increase the sources of income. You can also purchase the required resources with gold. Oh my god. You can only have one of your decrees issued for each of the Crusade stats at any given time. Each decree has a cost and completion time. Some decrees can only be issued once, others have repeat timings, which is displayed in the decree's description window. Your progress in Crusade management unlocks certain special decrees. A stat rank up decree becomes available upon meeting specific rank requirements. A relic upgrade decree, which turns a relic into a powerful artifact for your party to use, becomes available when you obtain a suitable relic. So logistics, diplomacy, and military can be ranked up. So, okay, so rank up. Requires 1 day to solve. Let's form a military council. Can I do more than one? Yeah. Okay. I can do 1 decree per stat. Okay, at a time. Okay. An odd and somewhat touched priest has sought an audience. In a dream, he saw himself eradicate the world wound and is convinced that it was an omen. With the help of relics he borrowed from his temple, he was able to make an arduous journey to Dresden, and he is now asking the commander to keep them safe while he is away on his quest to fight evil. All generals gain +1 level to the reduction of losses. Finance points is increased by 20. Provides the relics of the blessed one. Holy disruption mace +3. Let's convince him to join the army. I can only do one of these at a time, right? Six rogues and 8 bandits are recruited. 750 diplomacy points. 14 convicts are recruited at the commander's headquarters. Unlocks the Raising Heroes decree. $750 diplomacy. Okay. I think there's been a really good, if things, I'm sure things will change depending on severity, but it seems like they've mostly gotten rid of negative side effects for every decision option that they had in the first game. In the first game, literally every choice, no matter how beneficial, how insignificantly beneficial, had also a negative effect. It was so, like, literally I lost the game after, like, technically I lost the game after not even like a month of doing the kingdom management shit. It was like, oh yeah, you're fucking dead. I was just like, I will accept and take care of them. Unlocks the Raising Heroes decree. Arushale is certain that the service in the crusade reforms thieves, so she is assigned experienced officers to guide them. Along with combat training, they teach the bandits about honor and valor. And I'm guessing I can only do one event at a time? You think I can do more than one? Well, let's find out. Let's convince him to join the army. Arushale was able to convince the priest that he had interpreted the dream wrong. His mission was indeed to travel to the world wound and fight it, but he had read the metaphor of closing the wound too literally. His true purpose is not to bear the burden solely on his own shoulders, but to join the crusade and do his part in achieving victory over the demons by serving as a healer. Infirmary size is increased by 5%. Okay. So all my available decrees are in progress. All of my events are dealt with. Okay. Interesting. What? Oh no. Let's put a hospital. A 5% bonus for infirmary sizes for all generals. So it doesn't appear that there's adjoining bonuses. Not for a hospital. Yeah, we always want teleportation circles, because... Okay, we'll work on that. Fast travel is sick. So how do I get back to the game? This? Okay. Let's be on. What just happened? Weird. Apparently I performed some good actions. Crusade. Armies? Are these modifiers? That's the only thing I was seeing is that. Like, everything else just seems like enemy leader ability strength. Fuck those spellcasters, am I right? Player leader ability strength. After army battle raise multiplier. What is that? Number of recruits at refresh. Huh. Cost modifiers. -1 means it's free. 0 means it's normal, and 2 increases it by 3 times. Hmm. Alright, well, I think I'll leave this as it is right now. So it's basically just the infinite rerolls is all I've got. I'm gonna give those glasses to Lan, because he can hit them from further away. So having the +2 damage, the +2 damage doesn't matter who it's on, it's only +2. You know, if it was plus 20%, that's different. Where the hell is the front door? So this, I think? Go downstairs? Oh my god. I guess fortress gates? Am I just leaving? Because I selected the gates? It's unexpected. Yes. Issue orders that will allow Irbeth to spend more time among the common soldiers. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. How do I issue commands that tells her to spend more time with the soldiers? That was the rank up for the military stat. No! I wish there was an easier way to go into the fucking town. Wasting all this time. There needs to be a button on the screen. Enter town. Oh my lord. Assign her to lead a small squad. All right. Orders to Irabeth. Another decree is being enacted for this stat. Okay, so I can do that after military is done. Okay, got you. I could just rest for a day and finish all 3 of those. All right. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and stop there for tonight, everybody.